It's the end of 2024, and just like last year, I thought it would be a cool idea to just make a little end-of-year update video to fill you all in on what's been happening, my plans for next year, and to, of course, reflect back on the past year that is 2024. So, hello everyone, I hope you had some good holidays, I hope you're all having a good time, maybe you have some time off of work, maybe you got some good games, maybe you finally have time to play those good games. I just hope you're all having a good time. In last year's video, I mentioned that for 2024, I wanted to basically completely step away from rumor videos and rumor discussion videos as I used to do, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. As this year, I basically only made my normal reviews, my pre-release discussions, and some other general discussion videos, first impressions type of videos. I've had a lot of fun making videos this year, and I really appreciate all of the support that I got from all of you guys. It seems that you've been enjoying the videos, I've been getting a lot of comments, and I just really appreciate all of that, because that's of course why I do it. Getting to talk to all of you, sharing my opinion on these games, and getting to hear your opinion in return. And it's been a joy to read the comments and just talk with you all about it, so thank you so much for the support. But while making these types of reviews, I have noticed that a big downside to this type of content is that these videos take really long to make. Add to that I also have a full-time basic 9-to-5 job, and these videos just end up taking a while, and my channel sometimes has some pretty lengthy periods of downtime, which is something that I want to work on, because I would love to make more videos. So one of the goals for next year would be to make more of these big reviews, just the type of content I have been making, because it has been really fun to just dive deep into some of these games. Talking about my love for Final Fantasy IX, talking about games like God of War Ragnarok, a game that I didn't exactly love, a game that I was really conflicted on, and to just kind of dive deep into it and find out why I had those conflicted feelings. Talking about a game like Raincoat, a game that for some reason nobody played, but I really loved, so I wanted to just make content on it, get more of that game out there. Or with more popular games like Stellar Blade, make a video talking about things like the story or the exploration, things that people in general don't really talk about. Those videos have been really fun, and that is just the main thing of my channel that I want to do moving forward, as I've been doing in this past year, so not that much will change in that regard. But I will be trying something new, and that's the thing that's kind of gonna help me fill this downtime. Stuff like the Metaphor video, which hasn't been released yet, but it will release early next year. And the idea behind that video, or the idea behind those types of videos, is gonna be that sometimes I finish a game and I'm just sitting there with a lot of thoughts in my head, and for that I have my backlogged account. If you don't know what backlogged is, it's like a website where you can log games that you played, you can keep track of your backlog, you can write little reviews, stuff like that. And I always, when I finish a game, 90% of the time at least, I write a review on it over there. Usually these are really short, just a few sentences long with "these are my thoughts." But sometimes I have a game like Metaphor, where I have a lot more thoughts than just those few sentences. And I've had that happen multiple times this year, where I'm just like, I have so much to say about this game that it feels like a waste to just put it on backlogged and that's it. So I want to take those reviews that I have and just kind of expand them into video reviews, which will be sort of like I just finished or trying to process Metaphor. I come fresh out of a game, I'm very passionate about it still, and these videos will also be a lot faster to make because, you know, I basically have a base for my script there. I finish a game, I write those thoughts down, and then all I have to do is just expand on that a little, and then boom, I have a video script. So maybe those can fill in the gaps between my bigger, more scripted, 100% scripted reviews. Another thing that's gonna fill the gap is the podcast, the 3-player jam, because I don't know if you guys know, but I have a podcast with 2 of my very good friends, sometimes we have a guest on as well, where we just talk about anything, really. Games, anime, manga, movies, TV shows. But we hadn't made a new episode in a while, and during that time, there was also a new podcast that came out from other people on the internet that was also called the Jamcast. So we were just thinking, should we really just continue with this Jamcast name, especially because the Jamcast had a few issues. We were very inconsistent in quality-wise. Sometimes parts of the layout would change. There was just a lot changing, the setup wasn't ideal, it was very inconsistent. So we thought, why not, if we're gonna make a comeback, why not get original art, So we commissioned Spinebreaker. She's an incredible artist. You should check her out. I have her link tree in the description. So we commissioned her. Now we have original art, we have an original logo, and we finally have a consistent setup. So our audio quality is better and also just more consistent across the board. And just having all of that new stuff, having this relaunch now, having the new name of the 3-player jam, has us all a bit more motivated to work on it again, to talk about stuff again. And we did that already with our previous episode coming out a few days ago, a few weeks ago, I don't remember exactly, talking about the Game Awards. It's a really big episode, our relaunch, Game Awards, nominees discussion, winners discussion, talking about all of the announcements. Really fun episode, you should check it out if you haven't. But that's the podcast, and those trying to process videos will be filling the gap between the bigger reviews. Another thing that I want to reflect on is my Persona 3 review, because that video was a massive event for my channel. It would be weird not to talk about it. I started my channel talking about my hopes and dreams for a Persona 3 remake. The game wasn't even announced back then. I just had this idea and I really wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to do YouTube for a while now, so I was like, this is gonna be my first video. Then rumors started coming out, I started reporting on them. While talking about Persona 3 Reload and doing my pre-release discussion stuff, I started doing long-form reviews, which was my original idea for the channel, like my video on Tales of Rise, for example. So I thought, Persona 3 Reload is out now, of course I'm gonna have to make a Persona 3 Reload long-form review. It's basically what my channel has been building up to. And that video released earlier this year, and I am very proud of how it turned out. I'm just really happy that I was finally able to just gush about all things Persona 3, talking about the narrative elements that I really love and how they connected with me, talking about the teams, talking about all the different characters, but also talking about Reload in specific, talking about the new game mechanics, talking about the new story elements, and how they all strengthen that core experience of Persona 3 in my opinion, but also talking about some of the more questionable things, some of the small points of missed potential, all of that stuff. I talked about everything in that video, and that was just a really big event for me personally, but also for the channel. But while thinking back on that video, I also have quite a few aspects that I'm not as happy about with how they turned out, I guess. Like, I would often think to myself, like, damn, I don't really like how I did this aspect of the video, or maybe that part should have been streamlined, maybe that should have been in this order. Should I really have mentioned this thing because the video is really long, probably too long? And it was the Persona 3 video. I wanted it to be perfect. And because I had that feeling of this video has to be perfect, I have just these negative feelings on the video, even though I am still really proud of it. And maybe the reception is also part of that. Like, usually I am not a numbers guy at all. Like, look at my Raincoat video. That video is probably one of my favorite videos this year. Absolutely love that video. No one really watched it. It's probably the worst video, numbers-wise, that I uploaded this year. But I don't care, because I love that video and I love Raincoat, and I'm just happy to have talked about it some more. But I guess when you work on a video like Persona 3, a video that my entire channel is centered around, working on it for that long, only for it to not do very well, is bound to have some effects on you, I guess. But I'm trying to focus more on the positive stuff, like making these types of videos is kind of a skill that you work on and you improve upon that skill with every video you make. So I'm trying to take the things that I learned from it and applying them to the next few scripts I made. Like, yeah, the Persona 3 video is probably too long, but that was just the script that I had. I rewrote it multiple times to make it better, but at some point you just gotta record it, unless I wanted to work on it for another year. So I'm just gonna take what I learned from that and bring it to my next video. Because that video did take a while, and because it took so long, I also have this entire backlog now of video ideas. Like, from the top of my head, I have an Apollo Justice Trilogy video, I have a Metaphor video, I have a Drakengard 3 video, I have a Nier Reincarnation video, I have a very controversial opinion on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have so many things in my head that I want to talk about, and I just haven't gotten around to it because that video took up like all of my time. And because it took up all of that time, I've been kind of in a negative mindset recently, as I've just been jumping from video to video to video. After finishing Persona 3, I instantly started working on my Raincoat review, on my Stellar Blade review, and while I managed to finish those two, at the same time I was also starting to think of a concept or making kind of jotting down some notes for my Xenoblade 2 review. I started working on my Ace Attorney review, I also finished Metaphor, so I started writing on a Metaphor review. Then the podcast relaunch happened. I was just doing too much at once, and that's also why I'm a bit negative now on my Persona 3 video, because that's where all of this stress kind of originated from. And it just became very apparent to me during this holiday season, because at first I made an update post being like, I have a podcast episode coming out, I have a Metaphor video coming out, I have an update video coming out, and that'll be the end of the year. And usually I'm very motivated when I don't have work for a few weeks. I'm like, this is time to work on videos, I'm gonna fucking pump stuff out, get stuff done. But this vacation, I was feeling more stressed and burned out rather than motivated, which is then also why I haven't uploaded the Metaphor video yet. Because while I always have a lot of ideas of videos that I want to make, right now it wasn't a feeling of I want to make this video, it was a feeling of I need to make this video, I need to upload right now. Because there was this long period of time that I just was working on the Persona 3 video and I wasn't able to get these things out. I would literally just come home from work and work until 1 AM until I had to go to bed. It was just not healthy and the stress became a bit too much. So this holiday season I'm kind of taking a break. I put the Metaphor video on hold, and the Ace Attorney video that I was already working on, I also put that on hold. Like Metaphor, the audio has been recorded, the audio has been edited, so it will come out early next year, but it's not coming out this year. I'm just kind of taking a break from it and only working on this video right now. So for next year, I just want to balance it out again, I guess. That doesn't mean that I won't be making videos. I am going to be working on videos because I love doing this. But I'm just gonna be making sure that I'm not gonna burn myself out on this. And that's where those I just finished this game type of videos are gonna come into play. As I already said, script-wise, these videos are gonna be a lot easier to make. And editing-wise, these are also gonna be a bit more low effort, I guess you could say. Where usually it takes a lot of time to find exact clips to talk about every single thing that I'm gonna be talking about. In these videos, I'm just gonna have gameplay running in the background, only using specific clips to highlight specific segments, and those videos are also going to be more loosely scripted rather than me scripting down literally every single thing that I want to talk about. So those videos are going to be a bit quicker to make, they're going to be a bit more low effort, I guess you can say, but they're still going to be of a quality that I'm happy with and that I'm proud to be able to put them out. And then those videos, because I can make them a bit faster, will give me more time to work on my bigger reviews, and that's just something that I'm gonna try to find a balance between keeping the channel active while also not burning myself out again. So that's basically it for general updates. Maybe this was a bit of a negative update video, but I want to be more open and honest in these videos, as this is just what's going on with me, with my channel, and I want to get it all out there. Now, to end the video on a more positive note, I guess, I want to talk about some more specific plans. Because in my video last year, I said that I was gonna have a Xenoblade 2 review out this year. As we all know, that's not happening now, but I actually have a pretty solid plan in my head for it. I played Xenoblade 2 late 2023, and it's been a while. So while I could work on a Xenoblade 2 video right now and constantly rewatch cutscenes, I thought that that just wouldn't be as much fun, and that made me decide that I'm just gonna replay it. I'm gonna do a New Game Plus run of Xenoblade while recording it, I'm gonna make some notes while replaying it, and then I can make that video whenever the game is fresher in my mind. I have the footage ready, I have my notes ready, and then I feel like the process should just be a lot quicker. And while doing that replay, that's also gonna give me a bit of a buffer to work on those other video ideas that I had, like the Metaphor video and the Ace Attorney video, and who knows what else I just feel like making. And then when I beat Xenoblade 2 again and I have that review out, I'm probably actually gonna be able to play Xenoblade 3 and make a review on Xenoblade 3 basically right after finishing it, instead of what I did with Xenoblade 2 is I finished the game, I'm like, oh, I'll make the review at some point, but I'm gonna work on this other thing first, and then the year goes by, I forget details of the game, and the video hasn't been made yet. So hopefully that replay is just gonna give me the buffer that I need to just get some videos back on track. Some other small things is that in the beginning of 2025, I have a few videos planned, one of those being my 2024 gaming experiences video. The last 2 years I would make 2 videos, one of them being my new releases and the other one being me talking about backlog games. This year I thought I'd just combine them into one big 2024 gaming experiences retrospective. That should be fun. It'll be out January, I hope. I think I'm gonna try that. And then there's a new Jamcast episode that I mentioned. Not the Jamcast, 3-player Jam. I'm working on it. Also, the Metaphor video. As I said, audio has been recorded, audio has been edited. I would say January, but considering that I already have 2 other videos ideas, I'm just gonna say February? And if it is January, then that's a nice surprise, isn't it? But that's basically it. That's, I feel like, a more positive note to end it on. Another thing though, really quick, we reached 800 subscribers this year. Thank you so much. As I said in my last video, I never expected to get this much, even if, relatively speaking, I am still a very, very small channel. This is just more than I ever expected, and I do really appreciate all of the support. And maybe next year we can reach 1000. I'm not gonna make that a concrete goal, but that would be pretty cool. That's it for this video though. I've been rambling for a lot longer than I wanted to, but thank you for watching. Again, I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're enjoying the holidays. I hope you're playing some cool games. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you again next year.